Making lives work.
Making lives work.
All right.
Together we make lives work.
Making lives work.
I have a traumatic brain injury and my head was cut open and I have stitches going from one ear to the other across my head, and the top of my head looks like a football. You know, the stitches on a football, that's what the top of my head looks like.
Amal Dimian's scar is a vivid souvenir of an overseas trip she made in 2010 to her homeland of Egypt. It's also a raw reminder of how lives can change in an instant.
Overseas, a terrible accident involving Americans today in Egypt.
The Minnesotan was on board a tour bus when it collided with a parked truck. Now, 6 years later, Amal watches news reports for the first time.
Of the 8 Americans killed, 6 were women, 2 men. 20 more injured, 2 of them critically.
That's me.
The impact tore off the side of the bus, crushing, killing, and injuring most of the tourists sitting on the right side.
How does somebody live through that? The whole side was taken out. How does somebody live? It's amazing.
Amal was thrown from the bus as 8 people died in the seats around her. Her children, husband, and extended family were safe. They had remained at the hotel.
We obviously had several angels following us because had they gone on the trip, it probably would have ended very, it would have been fatal because we would have sat together. I don't know how I lived. I don't know how I lived through that.
Today, Amal continues to work hard, adjusting to her new normal. Her daughters quickly learned their mom's injuries would have lasting impact.
It's just made me feel very protective. Like I just want to help however I can because I know that it's very hard, like every day for her.
I'm not the same person that I used to be.
Occasionally, it's it's like the short temper, or just, you know, irritated or being like frustrated with herself.
My personality really changed too. I used to be very much an extrovert and now I've become an introvert.
Besides experiencing chronic pain from other injuries, Amal struggles with her cognitive abilities.
I have real problems with my memory, and so my family can tell me things 3 times and then they get frustrated. I already told you this. You know this because I already told you, and then I have to say, but I don't remember. MGENCS.
It's a common story among patients in the brain injury clinic at Courage Kenny Rehabilitation Institute.
I think the first thing is you're not alone. A lot of people start to really doubt themselves. That there's help available.
When she went back to work as a first grade teacher, Amal felt overwhelmed by her busy classroom.
Managing my head so that it is working as a teacher and then managing my pain and teaching all day, it was at a price. Because then I came home and I was spent. I had nothing left for my family.
A lot of our folks will sacrifice the quality of life at home, the quality of their relationships, because they're putting every ounce of energy into keeping their cognition together.
It was very obvious that I was not the same multitasking teacher that would accomplish things and have all these new ideas. I knew that that was not me anymore. I get really anxious and agitated when there's too much coming at me. I can't take it.
Our extended employment program is one that will help reduce some of that anxiety. We offer them an opportunity to kind of be a sounding board. We also give them suggestions as far as how to go back into the workplace. That might be things like remembering to use compensatory techniques, such as their note-taking, sometimes post-it notes, reminders on their calendars. And then we also are talking to them too about just managing their endurance level.
Amal began learning coping strategies from occupational therapist Joette Zola, who also discovered Amal's eyes weren't focusing together.
I was kind of learning how to work with my brain at work. What new ways, new strategies, new systems to set up for myself at work.
And it has been an absolute privilege to be on the other side of this table to watch you get your life back.
As the day progresses, you get more fatigued, and then you start to make more cognitive errors.
Amal also started seeing psychologist Dr. David Lund to help her deal with some of the anger and frustration she felt about the changes to her life.
But that's just not real life.
No.
You know?
Dr. Lund really helped me with words, because I would get so mad at my family and I would be so hurt from them because they would forget. And I didn't understand. How can you forget? You know I have a brain injury.
When you've got an injury that affects your energy and your thinking, it affects your job, it affects your care of others, it affects how you take care of yourself.
The new me is still at times, it surprises me and shocks me. But then I've got 5 stacks.
Okay.
And I'm stuck at this point.
Courage Kenny also supports people with traumatic brain injuries by helping them navigate the healthcare process.
A lot of times this whole experience is so scary and new, and patients don't know where to begin. And to be able to encourage and support them through that process is very rewarding. And so I think the key thing is to not kind of set limits, not set deadlines. Recovery can go on for a long time.
And so you don't have to do this alone, and you don't have to just try harder. You can come in and get assistance.
Eventually, Amal retired from teaching.
Let's reverse that reaching up.
Yoga classes twice a week have helped her regain some energy and reduce stress.
I love it because yoga is not pounding. Yoga is not high energy. You know, yoga is calm, it's stretching, it's breathing, and all of that, my body feels wonderful after I'm finished with yoga. Wonderful.
A catastrophic bus ride in Egypt seems much more distant now. With Courage Kenny's help, Amal Dimian says she's won a second chance to make her life work.
They made my life work by helping me love myself again and to accept myself as I am, and that it's okay. It's okay. And that if I ever need to, they're always there for me. I just feel so blessed that I'm here, that I lived through the accident, so I can be with you.